Hello, welcome back. I'm Claudia if you're new here. I have a couple alocasias that I'm transferring from fluval to pon. They were in fluval because they were either rehabbing or they were just getting a stronger root system before I could transfer them into pon. And there's 3 for sure, but the last one we'll decide together if it's ready, if it has enough roots. So I thought that we would just do it together and we can chat a little bit about pon maybe, or whatever might come to mind. As I went to grab them all from the cabinet, I realized that there's actually 5 potentially, but I only have 4 pots. So either way, only 4 of them would make it into pon today, and then I need to order more pots. But let me show you these pots I found. Are these the cutest little self-watering pots or what? And they even come with a little water meter. They have these cute little feet, the inside pot, and then this is the reservoir. Yeah, I just thought, I know that they are tiny, but these plants are small with a smaller root system, and I was very keen on getting a small, like 3.5 inch pot to transfer these in before they went into a 4.5 or a 5 inch pot, because I think that that's a big difference. Like, for example, like this is very small. This is like a 2.5 inch cup. There's no need for this to go into a 4.5 or a 5 inch pot, which is typically the size of the self-watering pots that I get or that are easier to find. I do have like some 3.5 ones with the clear reservoir, but I've been moving away from those because they get algae so easy, especially if they're in the cabinet or they're getting any direct light. So these are just a little easier to maintain, and I mean, to have the little water meter, now that I figured out how to use them, I think it's just so adorable, and I think that they would be perfect. So these little cute pots came in a set of 4, 2 white and 2 like this sea foamy bluish color. It's hard to translate on camera what it was, but I spray painted it because I would like all my pots to match, and 99% of my pots are white. So I spray painted the outside. I didn't care about the inside since the reservoir will be in there. So just to know. Let's go ahead and get started with these variegated fredex first. These have been ready. They honestly arrived with a really good, healthy root system, but they were pretty tiny and they came in soil, so I opted for fluval first instead of doing my typical water and then pon situation that I would do when they come in soil. But yeah, these are, you can, I don't know if it'll focus, but there's roots circling the bottom of the pot here, and I can see a lot of roots here too. So these are definitely ready, and I'm potting them separately because I can't imagine I'm going to keep, I currently have 4 variegated fredex. I can't imagine I'm going to keep all 4, so it's better to just separate them. I'll bring you a little bit, or I'll aim you down so that you can see what I'm doing. I have a vase with water so that we can remove all the fluval, and yeah, it should be pretty straightforward. I hope that the light is okay because today has just been like one of those days where the sun just comes in and out, and it's been so annoying. Here's the first one. Such good color. We'll just bring it out. A big reason I wanted to transfer them quickly out of fluval right now is that I have to water it or like replenish the reservoir so often. Like, nobody has time for that, no offense. But it was like every other day. And I don't even have drainage on there. It was just a little cup without drainage. So much fluval. I like to remove as much of it as I can, just because when fluval comes apart, it just kind of gets really like muddy and hard. Like, it can get very, Yeah, hard, I guess, is the word. Whoops. Here it is. Really nice root system. Fun fact, I used to never, ever, ever rinse my pon, and I just started doing that because really for convenience. You know, you can't or you shouldn't rinse it over the sink or like when you water or whatever, because the sediment can clog your pipes. So I started rinsing it before now, and I mean, it's working out fine, I guess. Here is the first one. So cute. These little pots are adorable. I'm gonna have to wipe them because I have all this stuff on me. Here is the next one. This is one leaf. This one's going. So it's still really only holding on to like 2 leaves at a time, but it is growing quickly, so that is exciting. I'm curious to know if you're using pon, and if so, when did you start using it? And what kinds of plants do you like having in pon? Just today actually, I repotted, I don't know if I showed you or maybe I uploaded a shorts about it, but I chopped my pink princess philodendron, I don't know, a couple months ago, and the top cutting, I had it in perlite in a semi-hydro method. It did not skip a beat. It grew the entire time, I think like, I don't know, 3 leaves or so, but like the whole time it just did not stop growing. So I went ahead and I added it to pon today to see how that does. By no means am I trying to have my entire collection in semi-hydro, but I do like it as like for plants that don't like to go thirsty or don't like to dry out. They're really good for my underwatering ways. There is a corm here, but it's tiny. I don't think I'm gonna pull it. There's 2 corms actually. I don't think I'm going to pull them. I think I'm just going to leave them for now. Yeah, because they're just too small. Do you see that? Honestly, this root system looks kind of big. I'm wondering if it does need a bigger pot. For sure, actually. This is way too small. I don't really have... I just used up my last small one of the ones I would want to use. Okay, stay tuned. I'm going to use this one. This has the little see-through area here so that I can see when it needs water, and it works on a wick. I just burned the edges to seal them. And yeah, I can't say I love this. I was really hoping to have it in that cute little pot, but it's not a bad thing that the roots are so nice and strong. So we will go with it. I think I will go like this. I will say wet pon is a little bit more difficult to work with than dry pon. It's just like sticky, so it doesn't flow off as nice. Okay, and here is this one. I don't like to remove leaves until they easily come off when you tug, so I'll just keep that there. How cute would it have looked if they were both in this tiny pot? Gotta get over it. Next, we're gonna do my Watsoniana white veins. I opened this one up in the same video I did the fredex. So it was a tiny little plug. This is its original leaf. And I did get one more leaf, but unfortunately I lost it because the fluval went dry for too long. So I wanna bring it out of the fluval and see if we have enough roots to transfer. Try to get the fluval into another cup just in case it's not ready. I can reuse it. But I hope it is, because I'm telling you, I'm watering these. Oh, it is. For sure. It has nice, healthy roots. Show you once they're off. Oh, nice. This fluval came off super easy. Look at that. Woohoo! And this definitely fits in the small pot, so that's great. Okay. Yeah, so I'm curious to know, when you got into Pon, what kinds of plants you keep in there and what your experience has been like. For the most part, I have all my alocasias. I have been moving anthuriums into Pon as well. And I was just saying I moved my pink princess philodendron. I think that Pon is a great substrate. I mean, for a lot of reasons. It has a great aeration, I can't say that right now. It helps balance pH. And then also, most importantly, or what gets my attention the most, is the fact that it kind of removes that underwatering issue, which I tend to be very prone to do. So, okay, here's this little one. She's cute. Next, we're gonna check my variegated dragon scale. I've had this way longer than any of those, but it came in soil. It was a tiny plug, and the pot that it was in was way too big for the size of the root system. I didn't want to disturb it because it was such a tiny plug. So eventually, when it really wasn't growing, nothing was happening, I couldn't see any roots, I decided I was just going to transfer it to fluval. It started growing for me then. It's a pretty slow grower, especially in comparison to the fredex. But I can see some roots, but not a lot, so let's investigate. I really hope this is ready, because, I mean, it definitely has roots. Oh, I forgot I had put a little mesh thing in here because this has the drainage. See that? Making such a mess. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and transfer it. It's not nearly as many roots as any of the ones that we've seen so far, but it is, ew, I think there's like, yeah, there's algae stuck to it. I'm gonna have to rinse this in the sink, I think. Gross. Okay. Gross, that is so disgusting. Whoops, I just broke a root, but that's okay. Okay, let me rinse this in the sink and I will be right back. I'm back, and this is the root system that we're working with. I mean, not insignificant. I do think that it's ready for pon, but way less than any of the other root systems we've seen so far. And it's been in fluval also longer than the other plants we've seen. So maybe this is just a slow grower. I don't know. Okay, and here's this guy. He's cute. The last one we are going to see if it's ready was also unboxed in that video, and this was the Longiloba Lucifer Dark and Silver. This is clearly dark. In fact, the seller has now said that it's a purple prince, I believe is what they call it. It's very bright, purpley, magenta, pink, like it's very deep but bright, if that makes any sense. I actually really do like it. The original leaf looks nothing like it. This looks more of a silver sheen to it. So, I mean, who knows? People cross so many different kinds of plants that, like, it's hard to say really what it really was. It's the first leaf I've gotten. Oh, this is definitely ready. So many roots. That's the first leaf I've gotten this whole time. And it showed off. There's corms. I'm not gonna remove it because it's pretty small. See that? Right there. But this is definitely ready for pon, which is exciting. There's a new leaf actually coming up, but I posted it on Instagram when the leaf first finished emerging and people went nuts. I mean, I've never seen that alocasia out there before, so I don't know if you have. Let me know. If you shop at the Green Escape, did you get your hands on one too? And then also someone asked if the purple goes away as they mature. And I am concerned because this one, again, looks a little bit more silvery, but this is so deep. And it's hardened all the way, so I don't know. If you have one, I'd love to know what your experience has been with it. And here is this cutie. I'm going to clean up a bit and then we'll go through and water them all. And by clean up a bit, I meant I just swept everything out of the center so that I can keep working. But I have my nutrient-rich cocktail, so we'll just go through and water these. I also noticed that even though I'm rinsing the pon, I'm still getting a lot of sediment that first watering, even more so than when I wasn't rinsing it, and then I would just kind of rinse it one through and the water would start running clear. But I'm rinsing it high pressure outside, and then when I come in, I'm still getting a lot of sediment. So that's a little annoying, but again, for convenience of not having to go back outside and rinse it, it works. Okay, let's see if these little water meters work. Oh, here it goes. Did you see it? I don't know if the camera got it, but there's that little blue needle in there. Yay. I wonder how long it'll last. I'm gonna hide my face and see if you can see better. I don't know that that focused, but there's that one. This is the Watsoniana. I wonder how frequently these are going to dry out. I mean, anything is better than every other day, so I'm not complaining. Yay! Just gonna wipe these pots a little. Got fluval and Pon on them. I thought it was interesting, the ones I spray painted, it's supposed to be a glossy, but this one turned out matte for some reason. Not mad at it. I just find it interesting. I really hope the dragon scale starts growing for me better. Do you have a dragon scale, and what's the rate of its growth? My silver grows pretty consistently, and then both the greens really don't. I have one that's super dark green and one that's brighter green, and they don't grow very fast. They're definitely slower growers. I think is interesting. I'll give you one more look at each of them. This is one of the fredex, the one that had the corm and the bigger root system, so he went in the bigger pot. This is the Watsoniana white veins, and look at the back. So deep purple. The dragon scale, the smallest roots we saw today, and definitely have had this plant way longer than the rest. The other fredex, this leaf. Whew. Another's already on the way. And this other leaf, so pretty. And finally, the Longiloba that just has the prettiest color. And it looks like there's a leaf attempting to emerge in there. This is it for today. I hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd really appreciate it if you'd liked it. And if you like this kind of content and you're not subscribed, I'd love it if you'd join me. Thank you again so much, and I'll see you soon.